reached out in a letter sent to you. Did you get it? And can you tell me what to do? It was a message in a bottle, S.O.S. It told the story of our troubles, more or less. There was a fire and the starter we both knew. The less we talked, the more the problems grew and grew. Now the house is gone where the demons used to live. I hope you write me back. I hope you help me to forgive. This isn't easy. I've never walked this path before. You hold the keys and you can open up the door. I call our fathers and our fathers say they know not. And Hail Mary, I guess our mothers all forgot. So can you write me back, or better yet, maybe you'll call. Sometimes what's old is new. Sometimes what's old just needs to fall. I hope you get it. I think you know we want the same thing. I look to hear from you in either letter or a ring. I reached out in a letter sent to you. Did you get it? And can you tell us what to do? It was a message in a bottle, S.O.S. It told the story of our fathers, more or less. Happy Father's Day, everybody. This song, I believe, will be called Our Fathers, and it's being presented on a guitar that I acquired recently. I'll tell you a little bit more in the description about this guitar. I'll record another version of this song where I give you all the details that I can recall on this guitar. Off the bat, I know it's an Amari Suarez guitar. There was a collaboration where this this pyrography. The wood burning was blazed into this guitar's front. The guitar is made out of beautiful wood, and I wanted to give a special thanks to GuitarTex here in San Antonio for helping me to get this guitar in working order. It's easily one of my favorite guitars that I use now, and I probably will say that about all the guitars that I show to you going forward with all the songs that I'm going to present over the course of time. Right now I've got a personal story going on in my life, and I'm going to reread the second verse of this song just so you can hear some of the words without any kind of music or singing or anything that would take away from the poetry of this, that's basically what this is. It's a story written in poem for Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Thank you to everyone for listening, subscribing, commenting, sharing, and caring. And here's the second verse. There was a fire in the starter we both knew. The less we talked, the more the problems grew and grew. And now the house is gone where the demons used to live. I hope you write me back. I hope you help me to forgive. The last verse and the first verse of this song are very similar. The last verse is a little bit more inclusive. It says, I reached out in a letter sent to you, and did you get it? Can you tell us what to do? It was a message in a bottle, S.O.S. It told the story of our fathers, more or less. This particular day, more than any day, I like to talk about communication and those aspects that we might have been overlooking when it comes to healing, forgiveness, reflection, self-progress, self-care, health, wealth. And wellness and conservation doesn't stop at basically thinking about, getting in shape physically and not bringing a lot of plastic into an environment. Wellness has everything to do with your physical as well as your mental state. And conservation has to do with basically making sure that the energies that are being resonated are useful for both, useful for every aspect of the environment in which that item is. So every time I reach out for let's say a bottle of water, for an example, is that all inclusive, or is that bottle going to waste? And are our fathers maybe going to the big box stores a little bit too frequently? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have the answers. That's why I reached out in a letter and I asked a question. And so I hope that you can write me back. I hope that you can comment below in the description here. I hope that you enjoyed this guitar. Let me show you a close-up. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Peace, love, and all that old school stuff. There was a fire in the starter we both knew. The less we talked, the more the problems grew and grew. Now the house is gone where the demons used to live. I hope you write me back. I hope you help me to forgive. This isn't easy, I've never walked this path before. You hold the keys and you can open up the door. I call our fathers. Hey everyone, once again. And as we already covered in this video, today is Father's Day, and I'm giving you a Father's Day update. I just talked with my dad, and he sounded kind of down. He sounded kind of down the last time because he was confronted with a situation where he had to present some answers to a caregiver at the same time as he was talking with me. In other words, we were on a group phone conversation the last time that we had talked. Today it was just he and I, and mostly that was because I was just calling him to wish him a happy Father's Day. I know that he's struggling where he's at. I know that he's looking at his situation with a lot of sadness, really. I mean, imagine if you yourself had a situation like this where you basically burned your own house down because of some addiction related choices that you made. So in this particular song that I wrote yesterday, it just all came to me line after line, and in these phrases, where the song left off just a while ago was, I call our fathers, and that's basically why I transitioned to this clip. I wanted to talk to you about the call that I made to my father, and how the conversation went, because I've been providing updates. I've been using this channel for a number of things. Mostly I'm reaching out hoping that someone can help to establish a way for us to rebuild some things together, to help out someone in need. My father's home was destroyed heavily in a fire that he set, as you can see. He was talking today about going to rehab, and he really needs some assistance getting through these things. And I have a feeling that if I had the money, if I hadn't left my corporate job a few years back to carry a message of wellness and conservation based on the wildlife woes that I'm seeing out there in our nation, I would have continued working in my preferred division of work with my amazing teammates that I had, and I would have made a fortune throughout the past 4 years. And to rebuild my dad's home wouldn't have been anything at all. It would have been kind of easy for me to dip into my own personal savings. But at this particular case, at this particular time, in my case, I've already dipped into my savings just to pay off my vehicle. In fact, one of my songs was written about that. It's called I've Still Got My Jeep. And the reason I have taken this route, or had taken this route, was for one particular purpose. But during the course of all of these encounters with everyone I've met along the way, I've been faced with so many different people who are met with similar stories. And in a lot of ways, I'm teaming up with the people who are capable of being, I guess, counterparts to what it is that we're building, which is a new way of living. And in a lot of cases, I've also been teamed up with a lot of the people who are directly addicted to things that are causing destructive behavior. And so I've done my best to try and help people to rebuild. It's very apparent that people can't really make a change until they want to make a change. The biggest problem after that, though, is when people do want to make a change, the only options available usually are tied to the things that people who are running through these deep layers of addiction are not entitled to. They don't have those same benefits that other people have to travel, let's say, to another state or another country to have some kind of a posh experience at a rehab facility. And even then, the person really has to want to change. And the biggest part that I'm finding, the biggest component that's missing, is usually the persons who want to change have these things they carry around with them from their past that they want to address, they want to talk about. But those people that they want to talk with, they may or may not be able to carry out those conversations fully because they don't have peers around them to help moderate the conversations. And so we have what we have today in the world, where a lot of our fathers seem to kind of discontinue communication or only communicate topically about sports, the weather, politics, and all those things that we always agree to disagree upon anyway. With all of that being said, this particular song was probably 110% inspired by the lack of communication that I've received from our fathers and our mothers. And so I've provided this song. I presented a little bit of what's happened here. And I'm suggesting that if I had the resources, and I know somehow collectively I have the resources, as long as people are able to contribute and help me to make these goals happen, I would rebuild my father's house. And it's actually my grandparents' house. It belongs to all of the children of my grandparents. And my grandma specifically told me that the house would be mine at some point in time, which, it's a destroyed house. So it doesn't really matter what it is. Right now is a hazard. And I would hazard to say that if I had the resources to take care of this structure, I would rebuild it as one of the most amazing structures in the town itself. And I don't mean that in kind of a conceited way. What I mean is there are so many new technologies available right now to help people through climate challenges, and so that the heating and cooling efficiencies can be improved, and so that the consumption of everything can be less invasive, and so that maybe a garden could be also added to this location. There are so many things that I see, so many beautiful options that I see for this location, my dad's house, my grandparents' house, that I would love to have had the resources to rebuild this structure while he's currently in the rehabilitation stages at the care facility that he's at right now. And that would also give him some hope if I told him, hey, look, man, I've got this covered, I'm able to help you out. If I was able to do that monetarily, and I say monetarily, and I talk about money, and I ask for your contributions quite frequently, and it's not because I'm proud of doing it. In fact, it takes quite a level of humility and humbling to reach out and ask for your help. So I'm asking for your help with these videos that I'm sharing, and I'm sharing all of the emotion that I'm going through, and I'm basically putting this story out there so that it's personalized in a way that you can see that which I build around me is usually in great order, and it's maintained, and it's something that when I'm proud of it, I continue to maintain and upkeep. And I think that's the consensus of most people who have something good. They want to keep it good. In this particular case, my dad's house was already falling apart in some ways, and he wasn't helping to contribute to the upkeep, so it really fell apart. And then at some point, he just took the next step in his progressive actions, where he was crying out for help. And I've also been asking friends and family for help in quite a number of ways, to where, like I said, the song that you just heard was pretty much inspired by these situations. So I'm talking with you right now. Thought I'd end the segment after walking you through the damage, and I wanted to show you what comes from the ashes. And I will show you what comes from the ashes just as soon as we're able to make that happen. Right now, we're kind of at a standoff, so to speak, where I've written some people that I should easily have been able to talk with by phone. I'm not using any kind of hostility or angry words or cursing or anything like that. I'm just simply showcasing the truth. And the truth is that people can use help, a lot of people. And I'm doing my best to help where I can, and also I left my corporate income, and so I've been struggling with the monetization aspect of what it is that I'm doing. I don't even really know what it is that I'm doing, except for fulfilling the obligations of that which I'm encountering. So if at any point in time you have ever known someone who needed assistance, or if you know this person that I'm talking about personally, my father, or if you're related to this person, or if you're not related to this person but have recovered from your own struggles and you have something to give, I'm going to ask you to click on the description bar. There is a donation link, and that's really all there is to it. I'm not expecting you to fund all of this, you on the tube. I am, however, encouraging the group aspect of trying to get things working again and to bring a smile to someone and a success story that can easily be quantified and measured and seen, because that's basically how we're telling this story. We're telling it online, and I'll continue to showcase these clips and segments until people get the message. And once we get the message, it'll be pretty clear that some of us are just kind of dragging our heels because we don't believe. We don't believe in miracles. We only believe in discussing words and fear-based approaches where we kind of limit each other's progress. So here's to overcoming the obstacles. Here is to miracles as they happen right in front of us. And here's to you. Happy Father's Day again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, GuitarTex, for the repairs that you made to this guitar that I received. Thank you to the guitar dude who sold this guitar to begin with. And thank you all for watching and at least, wishing us well. It means a lot. Like I said, I talked with my dad. He sounded pretty down. He's been faced with some challenging conversations, including conversations with myself, which he does actually have. He answers the phone, and that's more than I can say for some people. So, with all that being said, I respect everyone's actions. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. And I also recognize that we're all walking a path at our own pace. It's just that I don't think we have a lot of time to keep dragging our heels when we have all these hazards out there. And I would hazard to say that once my dad is a bit happier and he has his understanding of what his role is in life, he will also contribute heavily to the overcoming of the obstacles that other people have had with their own addictions. So I'm looking forward to working with our fathers on all of the things that we're facing in this amazingly challenging time that we live in. And I know that we're going to make it. That's all there is to it. Faith, integrity, and gratitude. That's about all there is in this world that you can really believe in and smile about. The rest of it, it's all a learning process. It's all a learning process, and we're all learning together. So thanks for learning with me. Thanks for conversing with me so that we can work through these obstacles together. And thanks again for subscribing. Peace, love, and all that old school stuff.